Hello, Cancers. So I just wanted to say hello, happy mid-November. So this probably is going to be the energy surrounding you from right now until the end of November, which we know is the eclipse on the 30th. So things are going to be amping up from here on out, pretty much, and yeah, definitely after. So I do want to say that I feel like the most energy, especially out of all the signs I've read so far, I feel like y'all are definitely going to be feeling this eclipse. I don't know why your sign, but it's really interesting. I think that you have a storm coming. It's nothing to be like overly concerned about because this year has been a storm for everyone. For this, as particularly this, yeah, I don't even want to say this country, this world as a whole. Like we've all just been going through it this year. On an individual level, I do kind of see that you are really learning how strong you are. I want to say your readings usually have me so emotional. I feel like your readings are so deep. I don't want to like generalize and say just because you're like cancers, you'll have emotions, but you are ruled by the moon, so emotions are at the forefront of who you are. And I think every reading I've ever done for you since I started this channel has just been so insanely deep in a way that like I'm even grateful to have been able to like see the message and relay it to you because it's really powerful too. And this is one of those readings for me. You got the star come up twice. You got it upright, and then you got it in reverse. And the star to me is one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. It was my favorite almost, so I really love seeing it come out for you. You also got the Two of Cups again, both in upright at the bottom of the deck, and then in reverse to clarify as the first card out. So love is a big thing for you, and major love is coming to you. I just also want, because how I read my cards is I have an initial spread, I have my clarifiers, and then I leave both decks as they are, and I look at the cards at the bottom because that's an indicator to me of both the overwhelming energy and also what's to come after this reading. So probably going into December, near case 2021, I see a lot of love. I think you're almost clearing everything out now because you did have the tower come out. And then from here on out, December going into January, it's just probably a long-term relationship. I think it all depends on this month for you. And that's how I kind of read the bottom of my deck. It's kind of like anything can go, but if you stay focused and you stay the course of what the spread is kind of showing, that this is what it could possibly end up. So for my initial initial spread deck, I just have to show you these cards before I get to the reading because it's insane. I don't think I've ever seen a such like a positive succession of cards ever. But you got the Two of Cups, followed by the Nine of Cups, followed by the Wheel of Fortune, which was also in your spread, and the World card, which is hands down traditional readers, traditional people who make the definitions. This is the best card in the whole deck. It's also the last card. So all of those cards, like back to back, and even the card after that, the Four of Swords, is not like a super great card, but it is a positive card. So that being said, before I get into the reading, I do want you to kind of know that, like, you've got a lot of great stuff coming. We just gotta weather the storm of November, and I do definitely see a storm. Before I head down to the cards, I do want to also say that for the past few months, Cancer, I feel like there has been someone in your energy. This person came up as a magician a couple readings in a row. And now they're coming up as the King of Swords. So there seems to be some kind of air sign or air sign energy surrounding you romantically that is kind of like I feel like this is a first reading for you that I feel like it's on its way out. Like you won't be dealing with this person much longer. But again, that's up to you. Because they are showing up as someone that you find it very hard to let go of. Someone that has a hold on you with this Two of Swords and the Star in reverse here. So that I just want to say in our little face to face. Per usual, I'm going to be doing the extended after. So if it resonates, feel free to head over to my Patreon. But now let's get started. Like I said, we got the Two of Cups come up twice. The first time in reverse for the very first card in your spread, which also happens to be the Two of Wands. So that's two twos to start out. And like I said, this is going to be a really spiritual month for you. Especially with these numbers coming up, I feel like you're going to have a lot of choices to make. And that is the energy I get from your spread too. It's almost like this is a crossroads. Like this is the month that is make or break. Um, but we're starting off the spread with a separation because Two of Cups in reverse is a separation or a divorce. And that's a good thing for me because if it's a person that like has been showing up for you for months, you've been dealing with this person for a while now. And I do see this Two of Cups being a final clean break for you too. And this has already occurred, so this is still affecting you in a lot of ways with this Two of Wands here. But right now, you're looking toward the future, and I think you're trying to move forward. This card is literally my big picture card. It's about seeing everything that's available to you. The Three of Wands too, but more so on a smaller scale. I think the Two of Wands is about expansion and just like, all right, well, I don't want to think small anymore. I'm just ready to go big. And I feel like clouds have been removed. Whatever, like, storm, well, I keep mentioning storm, but I feel like whatever bad period you were in, you're coming out of it, and you feel like you have so much more of life to go live, especially if you were feeling the opposite before. So this is definitely like a huge surge of optimism, like a door being open to you and you just being ready to walk through. This could be due to like some newfound spiritual belief system because we did get the Star card come out so many times. Or and the Two of Cups coming up as well. That could be a spiritual union, or just spirituality in general. So yeah, these two cards are basically about getting your life in order. Especially if like I said, things weren't so great, and you're giving yourself you're cutting yourself a break. You're a lot stronger than you probably thought you were. So I do also feel I should say, especially since we only have one Pentacles cards come up for you. I feel like around this point, this month or maybe going into next, watch your ideas. We also didn't get an Ace of Swords or anything like that, but for some reason I'm just getting that you're sitting on a really great idea. You're probably in the midst of kind of like putting some energy behind it because Wands is about action. So you could probably be starting some kind of business. You could probably have some new source of income that you're really optimistic about. But on the work front, you're really respected right now because the Two of Wands is respect. Three of Wands, funny enough, is false confidence until you get to that place where you're respected. But the Two of Wands is you genuinely being respected and knowing that you are capable of really being an asset. And it's an initiation card, so you're initiating something when it comes to business, when it comes to ideas, but you're also initiating just moving forward with your life. So that is a really great. I'm so sorry. That's a really great way to start your spread, especially given that the Tower and the Justice card is right after. So this is where things got actually, believe it or not, is even with the Tower card, this is where things just started getting really deep for me. So, at first glance, the Justice and the Tower card together is a literal epitome of you reap what you sow. So, yes, I'm not going to discount that. I think this honestly could even be someone else's Tower moment, and because of this karma, this justice, you could be getting a front row seat to that. But it's a really simplistic take on these two cards. I think it could be that in addition to everything else that I kind of felt. I also felt that if this is someone else's Tower moment, especially if it was this air sign that kept popping up for you, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, particularly Gemini, because the Magician has come up for you or has come up as this person for you so many times. I really am leaning toward that, or an Aquarius too. But basically, whatever is happening to them, whatever way their life is falling apart. It could be a domino effect on you. I don't know if y'all have any children together or any business together as well, since we did get the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. But it will trickle down to you in some way. So whatever this is referring to, it's really warning you to keep your hands clean when it comes to this separation, because karma is lurking. Karma is always lurking, but you really want to make sure you aren't affected too negatively because the Tower is never a pleasant card. But for me, like, I'm really seeing that it's more so you're withstanding anything coming your way because you have good karma. Nothing in life is permanent, and that's the essence of this card. It's about not getting too attached to things, not seeking the deeper meaning when catastrophes happen, because to be honest, they just happen. It doesn't mean, yes, you reap what you sow, but sometimes things just happen again, and it's just more of how you handle the aftermath of that will bring about the karma, because we're tested in really bad times. We're not necessarily tested when things are going great. So that is just something to kind of consider too. I really try not to be too preachy because Lord knows I'm human as well, and I find the whole energy of revenge and trying to withhold it being very hard. Especially since I'm a Taurus. I have Taurus placements and Capricorn placements, and we are known to kind of seek vengeance. But for in your case, in regards to this reading, I do feel like you have a good core to you. And I picked that up for you in a lot of your other readings too. So yeah, unfortunately, sometimes sucky things happen to great people, but it's going to balance itself out. And not everyone gets that opportunity to withhold or to withstand a storm, and you're going to get that opportunity this month. The positive energy you start out with this Two of Wands, this Justice card is almost begging you to keep that because, again, your reaction will affect your outcome. I also see it, as I mentioned before, justice is not really in your hands. So if this Tower moment is caused by someone else and affected you pretty badly, you're being warned to not take justice or try to not enact your own karma, because the tiniest action you take can kind of cause a ripple effect. That being said, too, and this is where I think it's got really deep for me. I kind of had to not go off on a tangent here, but I really kept getting the butterfly effect called to mind. And, like I said, we're all humans, and there are actions that we could take decades earlier, or years earlier, or months earlier, that all of a sudden can kind of hit us, boom, immediate, or, much later down the line. So that's why this card, the important thing is to not really question why it's happening. It's really just, what do I do now? I probably didn't explain that greatly because it was so nice and wrapped up nicely in my head. But basically, yeah, these two cards together is a butterfly effect. And I'm just noticing now this is a butterfly on this card. So, you know, things that you put into motion a while back can be coming to surface now in a not so pleasant way. And there's really nothing that you can do about it. It's the Justice card is so beyond whose fault, who's responsible. It's just really about the way things are already. This is cosmic justice. This is cosmic um decisions. This is out of our hands, literally. So these two cards coming out together are really no joke. And it's weird because they're just some cards, the combination of them are just so powerful. And then for me, these two cards are insanely powerful. And then the following two cards, I would say similar energy, just extremely powerful together. On their own too, of course, but just together, it's just such a clear message. So, just to finish up with these two cards, though, just your reaction is your strength. Justice is on your hands. All you can do is really live, recoup from that, or recover. And it's really the first of many messages I'm getting of you doing the best you can with what you have. So, whatever outcome it results in that is never final, even if it's extremely painful with this Tower card here. And I say that because right after that, we've got the Star card here. The Star, like I said, is one of the most beautiful cards to me in this deck. And it's really great because after such two heavy cards coming out, we got these two, the Wheel of Fortune as well. So one is of spiritual awakening, wish fulfillment, recognition, self-love, while the other is a more positive outcome of this Tower card. They're very similar and just, you really don't have control of anything. We're humans. We didn't create this world. We're in charge of, how we live day to day, but the overall actions or the overall outcomes, it's really out of our hands. So this is a more positive aspect of that, whereas the Tower is more of, live and let learn, or just keep moving. I think this is I kind of always say that where you start out is never where you end up. So I think that this is really the message here with these two together. The tower, it demolishes everything and it's completely random, but it's also really inevitable. While this wheel is about a reversal for the better, without you really even having to do anything. Yeah, we got this Two of Wands here, but I think that this month you really don't have to have this hard focus on things. I think like it's just all about taking the punches, but also taking the universal gifts that are going to be given to you. Um, I I really think about especially with 2020, just you know, life is just so random and it's surprising. It's genuinely shocking, and I think we're all set for some shocks on such a global scale. So individually, I think it's almost a blessing where it's something minor or it's something that it's like, okay, well, there's never any, again, there's never any final ending, So it's really hard to explain. It was more emotions that I picked up on while doing these cards. So I apologize in advance for just the stuttering. But just to move on, I think that you really don't have to focus too hard on upgrading, like I said. With the Two of Wands, all you have to do is kind of see things and kind of set some mental map about what you want or where you want to go. And the Star card is literally wish fulfillment. And it's just having faith that it's going to happen. I think you just are going to be able to naturally see the positive in things after this Tower card. Whatever it is, it's going to be something that just really makes you feel grateful. And you're going to see the good in yourself, and you're going to be able to see what you can withstand. And this Karma card here, too, is just, you're a really good person. And I think whatever is going on around you is not going to affect who you are inside. And it's also gathering the knowledge of the fact that you'll never have all the knowledge. You're doing the best with what you have, and you're doing the best with who you are, and you're awakening to how amazing you are. And without fail, whenever you start awakening to that fact, people start seeing it, which is why this card is also about positive attention and reinforcement. Because when you see it in yourself, it just outwardly manifests, and then that's all anyone else can see when they look at you. This huge star in the center, that's your inner being, and when you start nourishing that and feeding that, it just becomes so big and so bright that it just radiates out of you. And I think that's where you're going to be at this month, really intensely, because again, the Star card came up twice, once in reverse, so actually right after these two cards. But yeah, you're really set for some recognition, and it's just this Wheel of Fortune coming out with the star is insane. Some of you may actually even get like public attention. I always wonder sometimes, do I have like famous people watching me, or like when I pull my cards, because I really get like indicators of fame too sometimes. The world coming up too can be like really a lot of attention and being known on, not to the masses necessarily, even though that is a possibility, but also um just to a large amount of people, large enough to the point where it's not even just local, it's really intense. And I was also reading, because I follow a lot of astrologers on my social media. A lot of them are saying that a lot of the water signs are set for something pretty big the remainder of this year. So just keep that in mind too. Um, yeah, just moving forward though, we got the Two of Swords and the Star in reverse, like I said. So here we're back to some confusion. Where I mentioned that this air sign, or whoever has this air sign energy, there are, and I really am feeling like it's an air sign and confusion and magician like energy, because this two of swords is, a lot of readers see it as not making a choice because you're willingly not making a choice. I feel like you have to, this card is about being extremely objective to the point where you have to put that blindfold on because something or someone is trying to distract you. This blindfold is actually a positive to me, not a negative. And also them sitting still and kind of really, they're touching their heart space with their arms crossed is really about, all right, I'm blending my mental and also my heart, but I'm not letting either overpower the other. So this card is actually really positive. It's just a star in reverse that I'm not so crazy about. I really do feel like in order to get this person out of your life and in order to make the decisions needed to get them out of your life, you can't be in their presence and they can't be in your presence. So hence the blindfold. We can even take that literally where you can't even see them anymore. You can't talk to them. You have to block them out because the star card coming up and you getting all this positive attention and your life changing for the better. This could be even on a mass scale where you just have a windfall of money. You're changing. It's just a huge change, and it's a change that other people are going to be privy to. So of course, there's no coincidence that yeah, right now this person is crawling back or trying to sneak their way in. You're going to have to just put that blindfold on and even cover your ears and just not listen to anything they have to say because if you know something is your weakness, until you're strong enough to avoid it, you just have to stay away from it. Go cold turkey. So whoever you split with, or this can not even be this person, it could be friends you cut off or who kind of abandoned you in your time of need when you were going through things with this person. Not so much family here, I'm getting, because usually that energy is pretty like apparent if it's family, but whoever this is, it's almost like they're gonna establish some kind of peace because this card could also be a truce, but a temporary one. So they're going to come offering apologies. They're going to try to get some kind of truce energy just to get a foot in the door, though. Because again, the star card coming up in reverse is not a coincidence. This will be very temporary, and it'll be because of the star energy that you exhibited with this Wheel of Fortune. Um, it's funny that it's in the reverse because I think someone is distorting that really positive energy that you have, that really positive outlook that you have on life. Someone is using that to their advantage to just, again, get a foot in the door. And I think you will need to recognize it for what it is. Um, and I think whoever this is too, it can even be multiple people. I think they want to make sure that you don't ascend too high to where they can no longer reach you, because the star card too is about ascension spiritually, but also again, your price is going up. So, if your price goes up, then this person won't be able to come in and out as they please anymore. And I just want you to be aware of false gifts, false friends, and this card is about taking the time that you need to analyze people's actions around you. This is about not taking anything at face value because, of course, you can't even see them. So just really keep that energy. Know that this is probably a distorted version of, this person's trying to marry you, but because it's not genuine, it's coming up as distorted. So just keep that in mind as well. Moving on though, it's weird because like I said, I feel like going into 2021, it's going to be all about love for you. I think you're about to date someone that is, and it's weird because my Patreon page I did a reading for you like a couple months ago, and I did a future love reading, and I felt like Cancers are going to date, the next person they date is going to be someone a lot more dominant, a lot darker, but like in a sexy way. And I feel that with this King of Wands here. And the King of Wands came out with this Ten of Pentacles, so this is a potential long-term relationship coming up. It was clarified by this Ten of Swords, and I don't take that as an omen with this person. I take it as an omen with this person, the King of Swords. Like I said, this being the very last card out, I don't think that's a coincidence. Especially, like I said, false friends, false gifts, and I think the catalyst is really going to be when you start getting that positive attention. With that positive attention comes new love prospects, new growth in work and money. So all of that is just really, you got to take the good and the bad. But yeah, you might be still stuck between the really bad person in your past and this potential good person here. These are two tens with the King of Wands, so you need to end something in order to have this longevity with this person. It can be a fire sign. I'm trying to remember what sign came up. I really feel like it was an earth sign though. But regardless of what sign they are, it's definitely a new romance. And I feel like it's someone extremely confident, someone very passionate. And I feel like, again, because you had the double star energy here, I don't think that's a coincidence because you probably attracted someone that enjoys that you're so magnetic, that enjoys that you have attention. Whereas this air sign or these false friends probably like wants a little bit of what you have without giving anything back. this person really appreciates you for who you are. They probably saw the light in you too, before, in a way that your past person didn't. So I would definitely, if you are even still considering this past person or anyone else in the picture, I would go toward the person that actually sees who you are and is not trying to make you lower yourself to make them comfortable. This King of Wands is very confident. At times, the unevolved energy of this can be insecure, but normally they want someone that is their counterpart. They don't want someone that just shrinks, behind them. Granted, they might get insecure if other people, start being in the picture, and if they're equally as flirtatious, but for the most part, they really are not trying to compete with you, and they generally want to shine with you instead of, walk all over you and again, make sure you dim your light. So this Ten of Swords with that is you really have a lot of loose ends you have to cut to kind of tie up before you get to this long-term relationship, because this is a sword card too, so I really feel like this air sign is just going to continue lingering until something is done about them. And of course, I don't mean physical or anything drastic. I just mean with this blindfold energy, fully cut them off. And Ten of Swords is really cutting someone off too after a deep and heavy betrayal. As long as this person is still your blind spot, they really might hinder any long-term growth you have with someone else. And I am seeing, even if you don't see this person yet, this person is in the picture in some way. So, speak of the devil, we got this King of Swords here with the Seven of Pentacles. And for me, this was more about why they feel that way, and it was really interesting. I think this is someone who is detached, but they just hate losing. They hate that you've also detached, or they hate that it's coming across to everyone that, hey, this person is not pining over me. It was a really rough breakup. I'm getting that some of you kind of even have been publicly embarrassed by this person. This person just gave no f's about how, they did you. And you weathered that storm, you grew from it, and you've improved. You're on your way to being with someone else. And I think that this person is taking that as an insult. They're probably used to people that kind of show them or kind of like act foolish behind them. So again, there is this worry that you're rising so far above them that they can't take advantage of you anymore. You're doing so well on your own, so now that's kind of like some dirt on their name because, hey, I must not be that great if my person has evolved after me. And the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like they're very possessive over you because in their eyes, even the smallest amount of time or effort that they feel they put in means you owe them, or you owe them your happiness, that they should have control over you. They should be able to come in and out as they please. You aren't allowed to move on. It's really messy energy here. So I think that this is coming up as the last few cards because you really need to keep that in mind. When and if this person comes back, you really need to just be cognizant of the fact that there is the closure with someone like that. And people like that really don't want closure because they still want to keep that door open for the very reason of you evolving and you looking and feeling great. They want to take some of that. The Queen of Cups came up at the bottom of my clarifier deck, and this is you. This is water sign energy. Queen of Cups is someone who feels love intensely, but she also gives it very intensely. So, don't be scared to do that this month. You've been through a lot this year, and it's weird because there are just certain signs that your readings really stick with me. And I think it's almost been a year that I started doing this, maybe or close to, maybe half a year. And all your readings were just so intense. So sometimes when I'm giving you advice, I really mean it, or all the time actually, I really mean it because I just feel so invested. But let's pull a few oracle cards because I'm curious about where y'all are going love-wise. Actually, I love this theme. So for everyone, I'm going to do another reading before the eclipse, just like an end of the month eclipse reading for all the signs. So just stay tuned for that. And clarity. So that's honesty, intention, and truth. This is like Two of Swords energy. I want to pull one more card. But clarity is your focus this month. I think the more clarity you have, the better your plans are going to be because you just have that clear focus. And I felt that with that Two of Wands. Let's pull one more. Misunderstood, lost soul victim's mistake. So I feel like this is that fog that you're getting out of. To be honest, you're not a victim, and I think that that was the energy behind the Tower and the Justice card. Like I said, one action you took decades ago, or years ago, or months ago, could be leading up to a Tower moment, and there's really nothing you can do about it. And yeah, it's a mistake, or it's a unwise judgment, or unwise judgment call, unwise choice. But you are not your choices. You're not a victim. You are fully capable of living your life. Feminine energy is at the bottom of the deck, which is interesting because y'all are very feminine in nature, male or female. Y'all are very giving, very nurturing, very, 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 very in touch with your emotions in a way that Pisces and Scorpio aren't. So just really own that this month. From my other oracle deck, you have distant, distracted, deep in thought, detached, aloof, not feeling it, find answers in music. So, this could be just in general. Like I said, I do feel like you have love coming, but it's going to be a ways. It's closer toward, I want to say December, which is still pretty soon, and it might be something that you're not super, super, excited about. You're not really ready to go there yet. But, just go on your own pace. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. I do want to pull one more card, and then we will call it a wrap. We're at 31 minutes. I try to keep my readings a little bit quicker recently. So let's see. I like to close out with oracle cards because they're a little more lighthearted than tarot. Tarot is super intense. Oh, we got Cauldron, Sustain. I don't know why, but I got a feeling that some of you like legit have kids to take care of, your families that are relying on you, and you can't really sustain them unless you're sustaining yourself. So that Star card too coming up so many times is about taking energy and giving it to yourself, because this Queen of Cups, like I said, she gives so much. The Queen of Pentacles has it down more where she knows a good balance. She's very practical. The Queen of Cups is a lot more emotional, which is not a bad thing. It's just she puts a lot of people above her, more so than the other queens. The book card, Knowledge, is at the bottom of the deck, so y'all have some ideas you're sitting on. Do some research, look at your options, get that mental clarity, and realize that you're not a victim. I really feel like whatever choices you've made has really led you more to the star energy than the tower. And it's just a question of what perspective you're choosing to view things as, or view things through. That being said, I am all done your reading. I really, really enjoy reading for you guys. I don't know, this reading just made me think about a lot of things in my life. So again, I want to thank you for that. But if you resonated with this and you want to follow me on my socials, I have all of that in my description box, including my Patreon, where I'm going to film your extended now, and it's going to be focused more on love. So if you need some more guidance, head over there, and I do videos there a couple times a month too. So until then, stay happy, stay safe. Bye.